Greetings from the Tour de France. This is James Start with Frankie Andreo for Tour Talk after stage 4 of this year's Tour de France in the shadows of Lille Métropole, a sort of fancy name for this otherwise hideous soccer stadium. Actually, it's been kind of a hard return to France.
I thought it was kind of cool looking. Yeah, it was a hard return to France.
Talk about, you know,
I got nailed by an egg in the head. My first step into France, getting out of the car at the hotel, somebody threw an egg at me and nailed me right in the back of the head.
And then, like today, parking at Le Touquet. I mean, the Tour de France comes to town. For 3 days, everybody's been going, thank you so much for coming, it's wonderful. And now we pull into there, it's like, could you not park there, please? Could you get your car out of the way? I was like, help here? Something's wrong with this picture. Anyway, the Tour got off to a racing, and it was rather, you know, it was what we would almost call a transition stage after 3 great days in England and before the cobbles tomorrow. Yeah, but it was a short sprinter stage.
It was a good start. It was for a sprinter stage, but in the beginning there was, what was the guy? Luis Mate. Yeah. And I don't know what tires Cofidis is using, but the guy flatted 2 times out of the breakaway.
That's
so a serious problem. So he was in the break with that other French actor.
The actor, little Tommy Voeckler?
Yes, little
that
Tommy
guy.
Voeckler, who exaggerates every single movement that he does. He was like 1 minute, 30 seconds for like 50K. It's what are you doing?
I'm getting tired of the scene. You know, it's sort of like a scratch record. I mean, he obviously wasn't going anywhere, and he was just getting TV time, and there's nothing else to say. He hasn't been going good all week. He's getting dropped on climbs, and you know so he goes out on a day where he has no chance. And
it's funny watching it. It's just like, what are you doing? You know?
I mean, I guess Europcar is sitting there going, click, click, click. That's 1 minute down, 2 minutes. That's free advertising. You know, hey, there's another minute of free advertising. He's getting paid for it.
Another guy who got some free advertising, he showed the clip over and over, was Froome. So Froome actually took a nasty crash.
He did.
I mean,
they're going fast.
Going fast, and it wasn't his fault. And he hit the deck hard. And so we were trying to get an interview with him, but he was going straight to the hospital to get checked out. Henderson was also in a crash. He's out of the race. And of course, Baby Schleck, he's not in the race because he hurt his knee yesterday.
He crashed, and he said, I talked to Jens at the start today. He said his knee was like double in size, and he's got a real sensitive knee, and he keeps landing on it.
We saw him riding today on the trainer to loosen up or to see how his knee was. His knee did not look double in size, but he was testing it out to see if he could go, and he couldn't go. But the guy who has no problems with his knees, with 3 stage wins, Kittel.
Mr. Kittel?
Yeah, the guy's on fire. Today was close.
Do we have a nickname for him yet? He's after, 5, 6 stage wins now? He needs a nickname. You got one coming?
The Giant. I don't know. The Jolly Green. Oh, he's not Green Giant, but he's big. Yeah.
The Giant.
But 3 stage wins, impressive. Today was close though. With Damar, Kristoff, Sagan. Sagan crashed, so he was a little bit out of it, but it was actually close at the finish. And those trains coming in, you can see the GC teams again, really fighting for position with a little bit of a drizzle, trying to keep up there. But in the end, the Giant Shimano team, they kind of faltered a little bit, but Kittel's, he's just so fast. You guys just did it on his own, so it was impressive. But now we're going into Ypres.
Yeah.
Ypres to Arenberg.
A little question, and you see little things happening. I mean, all right, a couple things going into tomorrow. One, well, let's finish first with today's stage. Sagan, I mean, he had his crash about, 15K out, 20K out? I didn't see Cannondale going back and bringing him all the way up. I saw, like, Sagan for a long time all by himself in the cars, coming back by himself, and we're 15K for the finish of a sprint stage. And that's a huge waste of energy.
Yeah, but sometimes when you're going that fast, if you bring more guys back who aren't as strong as Sagan, you're going to lose your workers. And Sagan's going to fly through the cars, and sometimes it's easier to come back through the caravan by yourself than trying to do it with 4 riders. Because if you're with 4 riders, the cars get out of the way. It's like, oh, you got teammates, you can do this on your own. It's easier to draft the car. So I think that's part of how that would be thinking. And hopefully Sagan has nobody to work for but himself for tomorrow for the cobbles.
Sure.
Cancellar, nobody to work, and we mentioned this, but himself for the cobbles. I think these 2 guys really have a good chance to be able to do something tomorrow.
You're right.
But it might rain.
It might. And already today on the little bit of cobbles we had on the couple of the small cobble climbs that we had at Camel, which is a well-known climb in Gent-Wevelgem. I mean, guys were all off the back. Over the cobbles, down the hill, we had Rodriguez and Kwiatkowski both in a third group, a minute down. They finally came back together because the pack really wasn't really too interested in them. But they were already struggling on the cobbles, and I think we're going to see a lot of GC riders tomorrow out of their limit.
Yeah, we were talking with Ralph Aldag, and he mentioned in between the cobbles there's big gaps. So if teams can stay controlled and kind of stay together, they can maybe prevent some of the damage. But I know from experience, They're going to see cobbles, they're going to see bad weather. Everybody's just going to be in panic mode, and they're going to go crazy the entire day, and it should be spectacular. It should be some good racing, and
I mean, this is
we'll see who comes out. We've seen Frank Schleck break a collarbone before. We've seen Eban Mayo
Yep.
lose it, and there's others, you know?
Plenty. What I like about it is it's like 100 kilometers shorter than Paris-Roubaix. It's only like 155K. So,
fast.
and the cobbles come in the second half. So it's going to be boom, boom, boom. But the last 4 or 5 sections, it's like there is no room to hide. You get gapped. You're not going to catch back on. You're just going to keep losing time.
And it's not like you can, once you don't, if you have bad legs on the cobbles, everything slows you down. It's not like drafting, you can get sucked along. Every time you hit a brick, it slows you down. So the moment you peter out, you're done. And that's what the guys have to be careful about.
Anyway, it's actually since we started this year's tour, everybody's been talking about stage 5, the cobbles. That is,
It's like having a team time trial. It's all everybody thinks about until the team time trial is over. It's the same with the cobbles. So let's get to it tomorrow.
I can't wait. Can you?
No, it's going to be good.
Bring them on. From the tour talk, Frankie Andreu, James Stark, Lille, Metropole. I still think it's ugly, but you know, hey.
What's the name of the team? Slock? No.
Lille,
Lille
Losk.
Olympic Soccer Club.
Lille Losk,
Losk.
which is like a suburb of Lille,
Red and white.
which is, well,
Trade in that hat and get a Losk hat.
I like my Sox hat.
All right.
You know, I always, you know, I'll take Kaminsky Park any day.